Hello, this is SJ Talks Online coming back at you with another video. If you're new to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, please, and thank you. I want to talk about a lot of focus is always put on negative YouTubers, YouTubers that like to bash uh, black men, that like to bash black women like to bash black men. You know, a lot of emphasis and a lot of focus is put on the negative YouTubers, the negative black YouTubers. Um, Me myself, I don't spend a lot of time watching these negative these but in these red pill black women too. These red pill black women that are always uh talking saying talking negative about black women and never saying nothing good or positive about black women. You know, they don't balance their content out. Black men love those channels because they're holding black women accountable, but the problem is they're always talking about what black women are doing wrong and negative things about black women, and they're never talking about anything positive, so they don't balance out their content. They're always focusing on the negative. The same with the black men bashing black women and the black women bashing black men. They're always focusing on the negative. You have to balance your content out. You can't just talk about all negative all the time. um, I try to, talk about some good things as well. But I got to keep it 100. You got to keep it 100. But at the same time, you have to balance your content out and talk about some positive. And that's the problem with these people. And that they only do that for clicks and views. They do it for clicks and views. They do it to get clicks and views. Um, Bottom line. But it fuels the gender war between black men and women. It's just not good. It keeps us divided as black people. It keeps us divided. Um, they don't talk about solutions. If black women are doing certain things, okay, what are the solutions to those things? They always just focusing on the negative and bashing and everything. Like these black men that like to bash black women, they never come on and tell black women what they should be, what they should be doing right. You know what I'm saying? Educating black women. So I'm gonna take the time to talk about um what, and from my perceptive um perception of what I think is positive black content creators, male and female, positive black content creators on YouTube, because they're on here. I try not to spend too much time on the negative content because it breaks my spirit, to be perfectly honest. It kind of breaks my spirit. Um, when there's some white content creators that are positive as well, but right now I'm talking about the positive black content creators. Um, when I try not to spend too much time watching the negative stuff, because it breaks my spirit, you know. And I have to do whatever I can to, especially this time of year, because I struggle in the winter mentally and emotionally anyway. So I have to do the best I can to keep my spirits lifted. And when I watch that negative stuff, it just breaks my spirit. So I try not to even mess with I try not to even mess with too much of that stuff, and try to focus on the positive. If you're gonna watch YouTube, you might as well get enlightened. You might as well get educated, right? You might as well get educated. If you're gonna watch YouTube, you might as well get educated, and you might as well get enlightened and get some encouragement. You know, See what the things that we can do to be better as black men and black women. See the things that we can do better. Have positive dialogue amongst each other. Talk about the things that we can do better, and how we can unify and grow as a people. Um, And so these are some of the, now you may not agree with some of the people that I have on my on this list, but these are some of the people that I, from my perspective, are positive um, black content creators, male and female, here on YouTube that I watch. I watch these people pretty regularly, and I get some very very good content and educational and very enlightening content. And sometimes I get video tip ideas from them as well. Yeah. You know, and that's why I watch YouTube as well. Content creator, so got to keep up with the competition. I mean, you feel me? RC Blanks, I know I bring him up all the time. In some of my other videos, you might have heard me mention him. I mentioned him in a lot of other my videos that I've done. I love RC Blake's. He's really, really, really qualified to minister to women. This is a book here he wrote. He's wrote some books, and he's married. He's happily married. He has a family. He's um, and I just really, really enjoy his videos. I really, really enjoy his content because he comes on here and the information that he gives women, and he gives constructive criticism. I mean, he keeps it 100. He keeps it 100 with women, and he gives constructive criticism, but he educates women. He educates women, and he educates on women on how we can be better as women, how we can learn our self-worth, grow a closer relationship with God. And he has a spiritual element to it, and I love content where they include the scriptures into the content and incorporate the scriptures into their content. And so he always does a great job of incorporating the scriptures. He comes from a spiritual perspective. Like he just did a video talking about black men on the DL, and educating women on, the things to look for. And this, he covers all the bases. He covers all the bases. And so I watched that video. I was very enlightened by that video. Um, and it very if you're a woman and you having some relationship problems, or you having some patterns on always dating and having relationship with the same types of men, this is the guy to watch. RC Blake, this is the guy to watch. I'm telling you, because he's an eye opener. He will really really educate you, and he's qualified to minister to women. I feel like he's fully qualified because he's a married man. He leads by example, and he comes from a spiritual perspective. He's very intelligent and he's very knowledgeable. I highly recommend all women to listen to this man's content. R.C. Blakes Jr. is his name. Another one I like to watch is Tony Gaskins. This video is going to be a little long because I got quite a few people here. Tony Gaskins. This is him. This is a book that he wrote. I'm going to give this book a read. Um, that's a picture on his book with him and his wife, and he is very been really 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 getting more into his content lately. He's got kind of a southern accent, and I've been really 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 getting into his content here lately. Once again, just like RC Blakes, he's very knowledgeable. Um, he educates women. He's married, and I like the fact that these guys are in successful relationships. They're in successful marriages. I like the fact that they're in successful marriages. And they lead by example. They lead by example, and they're married to sisters. They got them some sisters. I like that. And and he just did a video just recently saying that black men can't praise their wives. I guess some he was getting some backlash because he was praising his wife. Make it make sense. People kill me. People don't think that black women are worthy of praise. There were some people that was having an issue with him praising his wife. So he talked about it. So I I just think it's a lot of people don't think that black women are worthy to be praised and lifted up. It's crazy. Crazy. But yeah, Tony Gaskins is really knowledgeable, and he leads by example. He's happily married. And he's like I said, he's really qualified in my book to educate women, and men. He addresses men, but he educates women on a man's nature and how they think, and it's just, yeah, he's very, very knowledgeable. I think he's a little younger than R.C. Blake's too. Yeah, he's very knowledgeable. Another one I like to watch is Shoemake. His channel's name is Shoemake Way. I think his name is Mike Shoemake. He used to do videos out of his car. He started out doing videos out of his car. He's married. He's married, and I think he's married to a sister too. He's out of Florida. Um, and he's got children. He's a husband and a father. And I really enjoy his channel because, like R.C. Blake's, he has a spiritual element to his channel, and he incorporates the scriptures into his videos, and into his talking points, and I really, really enjoy that. I really like that about him and R.C. Blake's. I love it how they incorporate the scriptures into their points that they make. And he used to be out in the world, and did, he had, I think he had a child outside of, before he got married. So he was in the world at one time and stuff like that. So he comes from a place where, hey, I've been there, I've done this, that I've done this, and I've been. So he comes from that. I think he was raised by a single mother as well. So he has a lot of knowledge in that area as well. So he comes from a place to where, he knows, he has that experience. So he has that knowledge. So I really love his commentary. I really love his commentary. And he's easy on the eyes too. He's eye candy. He's very handsome. And so, yeah, he started out in his car, and started out doing videos in his car. And yeah, and I love his talking voice too. It's got a very relaxing, smooth talking voice. And yeah, and he's a good husband and a father. And he seems to like being a husband and a father as well. So I highly recommend ladies to. And he's a younger man, and that's what I like about him too. He's a younger man. So yeah, I really enjoy his content. These people that I'm pointing out here, I highly recommend that you watch their content. It's very positive. Another one I like is Sheila True Love. Sheila True Love used to be a Jehovah's Witness. She's an ex Jehovah's Witness. Sometimes she references that in her videos, but just like me, I'm an ex Jehovah's Witness. But just like me, I may from time to time talk about Jehovah's Witnesses, but that's not my content. I'm not an ex Jehovah Witness channel, so she's not an ex Jehovah Witness channel. But sometimes she does talk about uh Jehovah Witness stuff because she used to be a Jehovah's Witness, but she's still a very spiritual woman. She's a very spiritual woman. She's very, very knowledgeable. I think she's so pretty. She takes some of the prettiest pictures on here. She takes some of the prettiest pictures. She's very pretty. Um, she educates women on um relationships and men. I think she was married twice, I think. And she educates women on how men think, and She's very knowledgeable. I think she's out of New York. She's very knowledgeable as far as educating women on men, how they think, and relationships, and now she believes in 50-50. She believes in women doing the 50-50 things. Um, and the reason why she believes in it is because so the man can't control you. So the man can't say, "Well, I'm paying all the bills around here," and that's one of the reasons why she believes in the 50-50 thing. But yeah, but she's very very knowledgeable. I really really enjoy her content. Um, she every day she always has some type of interesting video, and I think she clocks in about, I think, on an average to 2 or 3 videos a day, if not more. And she does a lot of smaller videos, so she's very knowledgeable. She also has a spiritual element to her talking points that she makes. She kind of adds a spiritual element to them as well. So I try to do that on in my content. So I'm attracted to other content creators that do that as well. So yeah, Sheila True Love, that's her name. She's great. Now some of you might get mad at me for putting this Princella. Some of you might get mad at me for saying that Princella is a positive. I think that she has very her content is deep. It's deep. The men think that she's bashing. She's not bashing men. She does not bash men. I promise you, she does not bash men. But she educates women. This sister goes deep. She goes real deep. She educates women. It seems like she does a lot of research. She doesn't come, she's not like Cynthia G. Like Cynthia G kind of got into the name calling, calling men dusties and all that. She don't get caught up in all that. She don't get caught up in all that, but she not really, she goes real deep, and she takes you down, breaks it down to the psychology of the mindset of men. I think that she does a lot of extensive research. One video she was doing where she was talking about mothers, single mothers, and I think single mothers and their sons, the Oedipus complex. Boy, after I got done watching that video, a sister had me thinking. No, yeah, I mean, when after I got done listening to her content, when she did that one, that was the sister. The sister got real deep with that one. She got real deep. I mean, she really, really gets down to the nitty gritty of the psychological uh mindset of how men think. She really, really gets down to the psychology of the mindset. She goes deep. Some people think that um encourages women to be lesbians. She doesn't. She doesn't encourage women to be lesbians, but she encourages women to uh, um, just be careful. Just be careful in whatever it is that you're doing. And she promotes singleness. She promotes singleness. She's an advocate for women uh, singleness and everything like that. But she educates women, and I mean, she breaks it down to all the way down to the psychology. The sister is deep. I know. After I watched a couple of her videos, she had me thinking, like, wow, that's deep. So you may not agree with me, but I think Princella does have some really 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 good content, and she really does not get into all that bashing and everything. She just breaks things. She does a really good job of breaking things down. So, in my opinion, I'm a deep thinker. So, I'm drawn to other content creators that are deep thinkers, and she's a real deep thinker. And I'm a deep thinker, so I find myself drawn to other content creators that are deep thinkers as well. So, like kind of like great minds thinking alike type of situation. Stefan Speaks. This YouTuber by the name of Stefan. That's his channel. I don't watch a whole lot of his content, but what I have watched of his content was real good. It was real good. He has some really good content. Where he's educating women on different things, and yeah, he's real good. I highly recommend women to listen to his content. Um, yeah, he's real. I think he does collab with white guys sometimes. But yeah, he's I don't watch a whole lot of his content, but every time I click on his channel, it's always something really positive, and he's always, educating women on different things, and yeah, so I don't know whether he's married or not. Excuse me. Another one I like is Miss Faye. Miss Faye's World, I believe is the name of her channel. Miss Faye. We call her. A lot of people call her Miss Faye. Um, I kid you not. This woman looks just like my aunt. I showed her picture to my mother, and my mother's sister. I showed this picture to my mother, her picture to my mother, and my mother thought that she was my aunt. I'm telling you, I was watching her one day, and my son came into the living room, and he was like, he asked me, was that my aunt? I said, was that our aunt? I said, no. And so she looks almost identical to my aunt. I mean, almost identical. My mother thought that that was her sister. She looks just like her. I mean, she looks just like her, and almost identical. Um, but she's very knowledge. This woman is very wise. I love to watch the black women, older women content creators on here. I really love to watch the older ones because I know that when I'm watching these older ones, I know that they're going to come with a lot of knowledge. Another one that I don't have on this list is Elder 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 Elder. He's a little controversial because he cuts right to the chase, and he don't mince words. Elder Rashawn, I like him too. He's not on this list, but I like him too. He just cuts right to the chase. He keeps it 100, and he doesn't mince words. But he keeps it 100 with you, and he educates you. And I love watching the older content creators on here because they come with a wealth of knowledge. And she educates women on everything, and I love it. She does a great job of breaking things down. And because she looks so much like my aunt, I feel like that's my aunt talking to me. And so she really does a great job of breaking things down. And man, some her videos are long, but after you listen to her, you won't mind the length because she's very knowledgeable and extremely wise. And some of the things that she talks about, she talks from experience because she's been through it, and she's just has a wealth of knowledge. And I'm telling you, ladies, if you want to learn something from an older lady, Miss Faye is the one to watch. She is very knowledgeable, very wise. And as I mentioned before, I mentioned this channel called Earn Your Leisure. I'm not sure what these guys' names is, but I've mentioned this channel before. It just seems like when I leave it on YouTube, when I go to sleep and I leave it on YouTube and I wake up, this is on. Matter of fact, it's on right now as I speak. This YouTube just automatically goes to it. It's like I don't know. Maybe there's things I need to hear with these guys, but these guys, they talk about a lot of two brothers. They talk about everything. They talk about nutrition and um, money and finances and relationships and they talk about what we can do as Black people to be better. And it's a lot of positive stuff. And then when I find myself waking up and these guys are talking, I'm getting that good positive information coming in, and I really really enjoy every time I find myself watching their videos. They're kind of lengthy, but they're great, positive, and productive conversations that they're having. And so if they're talking, they talk about the issues in the Black community, but they talk about solutions to those issues and to those problems. And so these are two brothers that they're very positive, and sometimes they have guest speakers that come on there as well. But yeah, I highly recommend that you can listen to them in the car on the way to work or whatever. I mean, these guys are deep, and they really really have lots and lots of great content on here. I highly recommend that you watch this channel. Earn Your Leisure. It's the name of it. Jules Lowell. If I'm pronouncing Jules Lowell, if I'm pronouncing her name right. If I'm not, I'm sorry. Um, now I just recently over the past a few months. I just started watching her. She's on TikTok as well. She was in a domestic abuse type situation in her marriage, so she speaks a lot about. When she talks about relationships and things like that. She comes from a place from of experience, and she educates women on the signs to look for in abusive men. There's emotional abuse, there's physical abuse, there's financial abuse. So she educates women on what women need to look for as far as narcissism in men and abuse and things like that. Um, she educates. She does a really really good job at educating women on what they need to look for. Some guys accuse her. She has been accused of being bitter because she cuts straight to the chase. She cuts straight to the chase. She doesn't mince words. Um, and she keeps it 100 on here. And it's like it seems like a lot of times I don't know. It just seems like men don't want women to be in the know. It seems like they don't want us to be in the know, and they don't want us to be educated. It's almost as like if they don't want us to be educated, because it seems like every time a woman try to come on here and educate women in women's spaces, they have a major problem with it, and she gets accused of being bitter and all that kind of stuff. And it's just that she's extremely realistic. She's extremely realistic, and she's been through things with domestic abuse and things like that. And so she educates women and let women know what signs to look for, because she's made it very clear. I don't want to see anybody else go through what I've been through. And so I love it how she is blessing women with that education and that knowledge. And she just cause she doesn't bash men. She doesn't bash. But she just keeps it real, and she keeps it 100, and she cuts straight to the chase. She don't mince words. And she does do a little cussing. People don't like it, but she said, "Oh well, go watch another channel if you don't like it. I'm gonna do what I want on my channel." So she's very outspoken, and she cuts right to the chase. So that's what I like about her. She don't play no games, and she'll block you in them. She'll block you, or she'll put you on what she calls that if you get smart in her comment section, she'll put you on not she'll won't block you, but she'll put you on mute or something like that, where you can talk all you want, but nobody can see she can't see your comment, and nobody else can see. So she makes that very clear in her content. But I really really enjoy her content, how she educates women. Women of all ages can use that information. Ayana Van Sands. She did a show called Fix My Life. Um, she has a YouTube channel now, and she's wrote some books. If you follow her, you know that she wrote some books. I used to love watching that show. She had different. Sometimes she had celebrities on. Um, I enjoyed watching that show and Fix My Life. She's very very wise. She just lost her. She just lost two daughters. She lost one daughter a while back ago, and just recently here she lost another daughter. Um, she's very, very, very wise. I enjoy listening to Ayana because she's very, very wise. She cuts straight to the chase. Um, she don't bite her tongue, but she comes from a place of wisdom, and I highly recommend. She's got a YouTube channel now. She says she enjoys being on YouTube more than her show, because she feels like she has more freedom. So, I highly recommend you get over there and check her channel out. The sister is deep. Um, Boyce Watkins. I've mentioned him in some of my other videos as well. Um, Boyce Watkins talks a lot about the black community. He talks a lot about the black community uh, being better financially, how we can build as a black community, how we can be better financially. And he talks about racism, um, and he educates black people on financial literacy. He's really good about talking to black people about financial literacy. I don't like the fact how he gets criticized a lot. He gets criticized a lot because he married a single woman. I keep forgetting her name. I keep forgetting her name, but he married a single mother. That's what I meant to say. He married a single mother, and everybody gets on him about marrying her. I think she's beautiful. It doesn't matter if she's a single mother. Uh, but black men. Some of these black men are really really hell bent on putting down black women no matter what. Alicia, that's her name, Alicia. She's very accomplished. She's a psychologist. She's very accomplished. Um, and he loves her. He's crazy about her. I think she's beautiful, and I think she's a good woman for him. And they do a segment called Pillow Talk, and they talk about different things. He talks about uh different uh he does some celebrities, some current events if it relates to his subject, which is always about. He talks about white supremacy, but he also talks about black people being financial literate, and how we can grow our wealth. So he's got books out there as well. But I highly recommend that yes, you go watch Boyce Watkins because he's very, very educational and very informative. I really enjoy his channel. I really enjoy watching. Every time I watch his channel, I always get enlightened. He's been under a lot of scrutiny. And they said some other things about him too. They said something about he beat some people out of some money. He was beefing with some people that used to be on his show and whatever. But I still think he has good content. Nobody's perfect, right? So I still think he has good content. So I recommend that you go watch him because he's very knowledgeable on financial literacy. So I highly recommend that you give him a watch. And I think last but not least is Brother Umar Johnson. I speak about him a lot on my channel. Um, and I'm very vocal about if there's something that he says that I don't agree with, I'm very vocal about it. You've seen some videos where I've just talk about things that he said that I didn't agree. It makes for good content. It's a good arguing point. But at the end of the day, I really love enjoy watching. I watch his content just about every day. He's on a channel called 60 60 something. And then another one called King Kong of Consciousness. So um now I think it's a channel somebody's putting him on the channel. I think that's what it is. I don't think he's running. I think someone else is running the channel and they're just putting him on the channel. I think that's what they're doing. But nevertheless, he's still on YouTube. And I just don't like the fact that he acts like other black people shouldn't be on YouTube and he's on YouTube. But um I really enjoy his passion. I really like his passion about the black community. I really admire his passion about the black community. He's a deep thinker. He's building a school. A lot of people are very skeptical. They don't think that I can't say that word. Right, excuse me, I can't say that word right. But a lot of people don't think that he's going to get the school up and running. But he keeps showing the progress that the school's making. Even though he keeps showing the progress of the school in progress and it's coming together. Some people still doubt him and don't believe that he's going to open a school because he's been at it. It's been taking him several years, and the reason why it's taking so long is because he's trying to do it strictly on donations, and I don't think he's getting any assistance from the government. Because he don't want to get no assistance from the white man. He wants it to be totally supported by his community. Brother Umar is extremely pro black. He doesn't believe in interracial relationships. He's dead set against interracial relationships. He's 100% for natural hair because he's always going on and on about black women wearing their hair natural. He is 100% pro black and he's a pan Africanist. So, um, he's against interracial relationship. He said that he wanted to overturn Roe versus Wade. I talked about that too. He might as well give that up. He's not going to do that. That's not going to happen. And he's funny too. I think he's got a really good sense of humor. He talks about the snow bunny crisis, and he's got a really good sense of humor. I don't even know if he's trying to be funny, but he's one of those people that don't necessarily be trying to be funny, but he is funny. So he's very funny. I admire his passion for the black community. And yeah, even though there's some things I don't agree, and I usually let you guys know what I don't agree what he says, since I'm vocal on my channel about it. He could talk about the black femicide rate more. He doesn't talk about that enough, and I was very vocal about that. But at the end of the day, I would say 80% of what he talks about, uh, I agree with, you know. So the brother is very deep and he's very knowledgeable. I think he's a licensed, uh, I don't know if he's a licensed psychologist, but he does a lot of things with special education. He wrote some books about children and special education and things like that. So he does that as well. So uh a lot of people, like I say, a lot of people, you know how black people is, a lot of black people shoot him down because they think he's scamming people and he's not getting the school together, but he's steady showing the progress of the school. When you're working on strictly donations, it's going to take a lot longer to get things up and going. But he keeps showing the progress, and the school is coming together. But it's just people are not being patient. It's going to take longer because he's working purely on donations. I don't think he wants to rely on our white government to help him. So he's doing it purely on donations. So you got to give the brother credit for trying. You got to give the brother an A for effort, And more of us should be doing these kinds of things. I wish I could do it if I had the way I would, but Yeah, more black people need to be doing this. More of us need to be doing those kinds of things in our communities. So these are all YouTubers that I think are very positive YouTubers. They're positive YouTubers. I admire them. I listen to their content on a regular basis. Some more than others, but I really enjoy their content, and they're very wise and they're very knowledgeable, and yeah, and they're positive. They're positive black people. They're not negative, um and they educate black people, and that's what we need more of. We need more of that. So I highly recommend that you watch these people, um because I enjoy their content. I really do. We put so much emphasis on the negativity. Um, there's so much emphasis on the negativity on YouTube, and I just wanted to take the time to um, point out we do have some positive black content and there's more of them out there too. But these are the ones that I watch on a regular basis. Uh, but we do have a lot of positive content creators that's out there, male and female. And I You know, Sweet June is a positive content creator. At least I try to be. I had to toot my own horn a little bit. Okay, go ahead and follow me on TikTok. I'm under Sweet June 54. I got some good stuff going on over there. Um, Go ahead and hit that like, subscribe, and share, and hit the notification bell so every time I do a video, you will be notified. Until the next video, you guys be blessed.